am I supposed to color stuff with this? Oh shit. Alcohol marker time. I was mistaken. So as I said in my other videos, I want to explore more than just, miniatures. Painting these and, making terrain. Do some other stuff too. So with that, I decided to pick up the 48 marker bundle from Ohuhu's Honolulu set of alcohol markers. I've seen other artists use them and I think they look really good and I want to try it. I've never used alcohol markers before. So, this is another new experience that I'm a beginner at. Because I'm not confident in, my sketching abilities, I decided to pick up some coloring books. Pick up a few coloring books to work on, to do some coloring in. Fantasy Castles, I'm scared of these pictures about as much as I'm scared of Ravage. You can't see it, but I still have Ravage Star set up on the table. And I'm about as scared of this as I am of that when it comes to coloring with markers. So I'm going to put that one to the side. And I'm going to start with just doing the relaxing and doorways. Before I choose something that I want to color in one of these two books, I want to swatch out all of the markers that are in this pack. So, I guess let's get to swatching. So while making these swatches, I've learned at least 3 different lessons. First one being, this colorless blender stuff just stumps the hell out of me. I do not understand how to use it. I don't know what it does. I don't get it. It's like a magical, invisible ink type thing. And I don't get it. So I need to do more research on that. Then the second thing is, there's a little variation in the color when it's drying. I feel like going from, or the marker to the paper just isn't there's a bit of a difference there, especially when it dries out. So I have to get used to that and the little bit of variation that is within there. And the third thing that I've quickly learned, I don't really know how to layer or blend my colors. I don't. I'm with being completely new to this, no clue how to do that. But the good thing is, this is supposed to be a series where I am learning all about how to use these markers and to make something look better. I'm not going to say great, I'm not going to say good. Make it look better, which for a while, it might not look better, but we're going to get there. Now, the real question is, because I don't want to do a video of just making swatches, what are we going to color? What page in these books are we going to color? And how are we going to decide on doing that? I know what we'll do. The Wheel of Randomness. First, spin for the book. Looks like we got the relaxing book for this video. All right, now onto the 101 page numbers, and making this was a pain, but here we go. Okay, page 24. Let's go ahead and flip through this and see what page it is. What are we going to be coloring? Ooh, it looks like we're doing a bit of a pizza today. I guess let's get to coloring this scrumptious looking pizza. All right, I'm gonna be honest. The cheese, it takes far too long to color. So, bam, done. So being about halfway done or so with this pizza page, I'm really liking these Ohuhu markers. The ink comes out a little fast and I always feel like I'm putting down too much, but I do really like the way it's looking. And when it comes to working on stuff like this, I think that everything needs a story behind it. Every piece of artwork, diorama, army, like anything that's creative, it needs a good story behind it. While I'm working on this page, I've been trying to think of what the story behind this and maybe this whole relaxing book is. Like what's the story going to be for it? And I think I've come up with one. So now let's hear about the story of Maximilian Etheridge's travels. Maximilian Etheridge, page 24. Italy, the best meal. Many years ago, while on a personal journey to find my own place of true relaxation in this world, I found myself in a small city within the Italian Alps. I don't remember the exact name, but it was something like Barzio or Belliosa. I forget which. I stayed there for a few weeks, and I kept hearing from many of the locals. There was a cafe that I just had to try. They said it had some of the best fresh pizza in all of Italy, which may have just been them boasting about a cafe they really enjoyed. But for my last day in the city, I stopped at this cafe that they have been recommending. From what I remember, it was a quaint little place, filled with pictures of different families and different handcrafted little knickknacks. After looking around the interior, I decided to sit at one of their tables on the veranda to enjoy my meal while the sun was setting. I remember the warmth of the last rays of sunshine sliding behind the mountain's valley walls, the subtle breeze that gently blew through the city's streets and caressed my face with its gentle touch, the fragrance of the pizza as it was brought out to my table and placed before me. This pizza was a thing of beauty, made by a true professional artisan. Its crust was cooked to perfection. The perfectly melted, slightly stringy cheeses were just delightful. The multitude of toppings added a vibrancy to it that was just a joy to look at, and its taste was just one of the most delicious things I have ever tasted. The pizza paired so well with the slightly fragrant wine that I had also ordered from this cafe. While I was sitting there enjoying my meal, I struck up a conversation with a few of the locals sitting nearby. We talked for a while with others joining in, and many of us sat there for what felt like a few hours, just talking and enjoying each other's company. That is the best meal I have ever had. So that is the first story that I have made up for this Maximilian Etheridge character. And I want to treat this relaxing coloring book as a sort of diary of this character. You know, a billionaire who has traveled the world many times, just looking for a place that will bring him peace and relaxation in, you know, this crazy, super fast-paced world that we live in. I really want to keep going with these coloring videos because making up these stories is just fun. And I do really like using alcohol markers, and I want to learn more about how to use them. So that's going to be all for the video, but there's a couple of things I need to just talk about a little bit. I read that alcohol markers work on plastic. So I think I've got an idea for an experiment that I want to do with these markers. If you want to see that crazy idea, make sure you subscribe. There's also some other things, so I'll throw it back to me a few days ago. So I know I teased that experiment. Before we do that experiment, we are going to go and try something else. We are going to go ahead and turn these guys into this. So I hope you guys will stick around for the next video, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Have a royal day.